Hello, everyone, and welcome to our staff handbook review. So I want to go ahead and start off by advising you that our staff handbook is, all the information is embedded within Module 6. So you want to click on the Assignment tab, and then we get into what a staff handbook should look like, what it should have in it, and the outline of the expectations of this assignment. So a staff handbook is a document that contains a company's operating procedures. It is usually delivered to a worker upon their first day of employment. Employers utilize this handbook to establish important policies that are expected in the workplace and that protect the rights of both the employers and employees. This is an opportunity for you to develop policy and procedures writing skills. So you're going to choose 5 topics of this handbook that's generated within our class, and you're going to write out 2 of the topics in the policy and procedures for a staff handbook following the format that we'll be talking about this evening. This is just like our parent handbook, how you had to write out the 2 ones that you chose in full. This will be the same thing. You'll want to pick up 2 topics. The other 3 topics must be listed in the table of contents, and make sure you're aware of EDD laws. Make sure your table of contents includes the center guiding principles such as philosophy, goals, curriculum, discipline, staff, parents, etc. So here is an example of the major heading. Actually, the guiding principle is your major heading, and then these are all topics that are underneath the guiding principle. So hours of operation, your mission statement, philosophy, curriculum, discipline, staff, and parents. Again, most of this you've already created in 215 and in our class. So this is one major heading. As stated on the rubric, you need a minimum of 5 major headings. You will have 5 major headings with all the topics that are underneath those headings, okay? And you need at least 3 topics. So you'll have at least 5 major headings, and each of these major headings must have at least 3 topics, if not more, under them. So here is some information that you can utilize. You can utilize personnel policies, which should include the staff development, employee benefits, standards of conduct, disciplinary action, code of ethics, performance evaluations, grievance procedures, resignation, and social media. Again, this is your major heading, and these would be all your topics underneath it. Major heading for attendance, you'd have under employment information, and this is where you'll find these, is what I'm trying to tell you here now. So attendance would be under employment information. So employment information would be your major heading, and attendance would be underneath it. Dress code is found under personal policies. Health is under health procedures. Conduct is found under personnel section, as well as benefits would be under personnel and section. Emergency policies would be under emergency procedures. Professional growth would be under employment information, just like attendance. Pay scale would also be under employment. Termination would be under personnel section. Scheduling will be under employment. So you see there's quite a few under employment. A conflict of interest would also be under employment information, as well as harassment and promotions and transfers. So that would all be under the main category of employment. And here are a few other topics that you can utilize: mandated reporting responsibilities, health procedures, accidents prevention and first aid, emergency procedures, very important, safety procedures, also important, releasing a child from the center, and employee safe and healthy. Or health and safety, excuse me. And again, this assignment is going to be worth 60 points. And I'd like to share an example with you. So here is the title or the actual name of the site and the person's name, which would be your name. So again, this is Little Learners Academy Staff Handbook. There's just a cute little picture and your table of contents. So here's your main introduction. Under introduction, you have mission, general program information, licensing information, and NACI guidelines. Really great things to have under your introduction. Children's Center Guiding Principle, where that is where you will embed your philosophy, curriculum, environment, staff ratios, parent involvement, policy and plan, and parent communication. And then employment information, staff orientation, job description and responsibilities, which is something that we've already created for an educator, remember, as well as schedule, lunch, and rest periods, and then timesheets. Again, you're going to write the page that this information will be found on. Then you have personnel policies, which under there houses staff development, performance and evaluation, social media policy, dress code, employee benefits, and then health procedures and safety procedures. So under health, we have sickness, medication authorization, very important, and always important to have a biting policy in your handbook. And then safety procedures, reporting accidents, emergencies, fire drills, and field trips. So this is all wonderful information for your staff. And here, then we roll into our first pages. And here's our mission statement, general information, hours of operation. Here's some licensing information. What do you want your staff to know? What is the minimum? So this is some information about licensing. And then the NACI guidelines is always wonderful to quote. And then we go on to our philosophy, which you already have, curriculum, which you have, and then environment. Talking about how things are arranged and actually showing a picture of the layout is wonderful in here. And again, this is great for the staff to know exactly where everything's at, where are the exits, where am I supposed to go during evacuation in case of emergency. Always important to have this. This should be posted in every single classroom per licensing. So in the handbook is nice that the employees will have a quick access to see it. Some staff information of what is expected of the staff, and guidelines, some staff ratios, parent involvement plan, how we want parent to be involved within the program, parent communication, and then we have employment information, which is staff orientation. Here's that job description that you created. We talk about schedule, lunch, and rest periods. This is great for a schedule. Everybody should be given a schedule before school starts or at the time of their hiring, so they know exactly their hours that they're supposed to be working, when are their breaks, when is their lunch expected, and so forth. Very nice to have that all in writing, so there's no questions later on down the line. Timesheets, and then personnel policies. We have staff development, staff performance, what the expectations are, social media, what can you do, what should you be posting, dress code, always important, employee benefits, what are you offering the employee for benefits? And then we go into health procedures, which is sickness, very, very clear outline so the educator will know exactly, if a child has a fever of 101, they need to be sent home or sent to the office. So there's all the description of sickness and what we do to send them home or what is needed. Medical authorization, that is an actual form as well. Licensing has a form that it should be completed and sent to your nurse's office or you have within your children's files as well as your staff files. Biting policy. What is your biting policy? And then we have the safety procedures, reporting incidents. How do you report incidents? What does that form look like? Who needs to fill it out and so forth? Emergency, what to do in case of emergency, fire drills, what to do, and going back to that picture, how to exit the building safely. Field trips. What do you have for field trips? What are going to be the parameters? What do the parents need to do and what do you need to do and so forth? And that is it for this assignment on our staff handbook. So if you have any questions, please email me. Refer to your syllabus for the due date of this assignment. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Have a great week.